페트레노비신카, 아나더트브 뷰어, 펜난1982, 루님 어서오세요. 카티어라증님 어서오세요. 더치스 밑줄 미드데이님 어서오세요.
Unit level increased. Fast to some data regarding the Commonwealth.
Honest. We sure do a lot of that. Winning, that is.
Make sure you don't leave anything useful behind.
Damn it! Come in! I know you're listening on the other end. Where is she? Where is my daughter?
New location discovered.
You've been at this for hours. Stop. You need sleep.
She's out there, Ray. Someone has her. They could be raiders, or gunners, or God knows what else.
I hope you don't mind. We let ourselves in.
Nick, thank God. You need to get to work right away. She could be hurt. She could be...
Whoa, slow down.
Sometimes I just want to pop a
Kenji,
stealth
was
away
it?
and bug out.
Why did you go over the details with me and my partner here?
You have to get to work right away, Detective.
So, what's the story with you and Nick?
Nick didn't tell you? Ran with him on one of his cases a few years back, searching for some sort of lost heirloom. He needed a boat. Things didn't end well. We were double-crossed by the client once we had what he was looking for. I still have some lead lodged into my hip.
페트레노비 신카 아나더트브 뷰어님 어서 오세요.
Yeah, it's starting to come back to me. Sorry things ended sour.
We got out. That's all that mattered. And now you can return the favor by finding my daughter.
We're here to help. Tell us what happened.
It's all thanks to this damn radio.
Our daughter Kasumi likes to fix things. The radio was her latest project.
Until she made contact with some kidnapper who lured her away from us.
Or maybe she left on her own. She's not a child anymore. Our daughter is 19. She knows how to survive, and she's capable. I think maybe she left because she wanted her own life.
No, she would have told us where she was going. She would have said something. I know my daughter is in danger. I can feel it. Find her, please.
Do you have any idea where she could have gone?
We know she took one of the boats, but that's all. She could be anywhere.
We'll find her. Don't you worry.
Thank you. Her room is upstairs if that helps. And if you had any more questions about her, just ask.
Don't worry, Kenji. We'll get to the bottom of this. Just sit tight.
Maybe constantly trying
Mr.
to kill
Nakano.
us, but
Did you have questions about my daughter?
Why did your daughter really leave? Your wife said she left on her own, but you said it was kidnappers?
I know it was kidnappers. Kasumi is a smart girl, but she doesn't know how horrible people can be. Not like me and Ray. Why would she just leave her family with no explanation? Someone tricked her. Got her to leave the safety of home. Every minute we aren't looking for my daughter, her life is in jeopardy.
Tell me more about this radio she was fixing.
I've tried to get that damn thing to work over and over again, but there's nothing. I thought she just wanted to strip it for parts or build a toaster out of it, or something, like she usually does. Someone made contact with her, and then they took her. God, what kind of twisted psychopath has my daughter?
Anything more you could tell me about Kasumi? The smallest detail could be important.
I don't know what more to say. She's my little girl, and she doesn't know how dangerous this world is. I never should have let her grandfather teach her how to fix these machines.
Her grandfather? He taught her how to fix the radio?
Ever since she was old enough to walk, yes. Her grandfather had an ear for machines. Kasumi picked up the knack. He passed away recently. He used to scavenge the ruins in the south for parts. I kept telling him he was getting too old.
No more questions right now.
Work quickly, Detective.
Walk 100 miles if I knew there was a pile of caps waiting
Mrs.
for me at the
Nakano.
end.
I suppose you have questions about my daughter.
You and your husband don't seem to agree about why your daughter left.
We both want to find her. The world out there isn't a place where you want to be alone. But Kenji still sees her swaddled in diapers. He doesn't see a young woman with her own decisions to make. Maybe because it's more frightening. She wasn't tricked into leaving without telling us. That was her choice. She didn't want us to follow. Why?
I'd like to know more about Kasumi. Might shine a light on where she's gone.
My daughter is strong, focused, careful. That's how I know she's still alive. But why would she leave without telling us? Maybe we... No, never mind. I don't want to waste your time.
Every detail is important, Mrs. Nakano. Don't hold back.
No, it's nothing. I don't want to distract you, Detective.
Tell me about this radio your daughter was working on.
I remember Kasumi was very excited about it. I figured she was secretly trying to make contact with Diamond City or another settlement. We're pretty isolated out here. She only has us for company, and Kenji can be... overprotective.
Nothing else right now.
I must apologize for the odd noises I'm currently emitting. A consequence of being mechanical in nature.
See if you can find any of Kasumi's personal effects. Anything to give us a clue to where
So
she
where are
went.
we off to next?
This is Kasumi's room. Let's see if she left any clues about where she went. So Kasumi was spending time in her grandfather's old boathouse? Huh. Sounds like we know where we're heading next.
커맨더 로드 크리키 카티어라즈님 어서오세요.
Hidden key, huh? Good work. Just gotta find whatever it unlocks.
I never really much cared for the Minutemen. The idea sounds great, but you give small men big power.
Holotape
Project log?
inserted.
Myself. I never really thought about who or what I am, but God, where do I start? The radio. I was right about the range. I managed to get a signal, a strong signal, from up north. There's a group of people up there. They say they're all synths, synthetic people, made by the Institute. They're trying to build a place for their kind, where they can be themselves and be accepted for what they are alongside human beings. It sounds wonderful, but then they started asking about me, and some questions came up. Questions I don't have answers to. I mean, I've always felt off, like I'm not really supposed to be here, but then there are things in my childhood I can't remember, and I've been having strange dreams. I'm going to go to meet these synths. I have to know the truth about myself. They've told me to sail up north to a town called Far Harbor. I can make my way to them from there.
So the daughter takes off by boat, but more importantly, there's a colony of synths up near this Far Harbor. We need a way to get there. Let's go talk to Kenji. He knows the waters better than anyone.
Anything I can do? You just say the word.
Have you finished your investigation? Did you find anything?
I think I know where Kasumi went. A place called Far Harbor?
She went that far up north? God, that explains why she took the boat. There's no time to waste. You have to go after her.
Wait, did you find out why she left, Detective? Who she was speaking to?
112300님
What
어서
does it
오세요.
matter?
Because I know my daughter, and if she didn't tell us where she went, then she had a reason. Don't you want to know if she wants to be found?
You're right, Detective. Did you find any clue to why Kasumi left home?
Your daughter made contact with a group of synths. She thinks she's one of them.
What? That's crazy.
She's not a synth. She's our daughter. We raised her. I gave birth to her. She's flesh and blood, not a synthetic.
Maybe your daughter is just confused. Having an identity crisis.
Oh God. Does she even think we're still her parents?
This is what I was afraid of. Someone twisting my daughter's mind. You have to get to Far Harbor. Take my ship on the dock. It has a guidance system. A final gift from my father. And it's built for distance.
What can I expect out there, Kenji?
I only made the trip to Far Harbor once, when I was a boy. All I remember is that my father did not want to stay long. Something about the air being bad.
I'll get to the bottom of this, Kenji.
Thank you. I know you haven't asked for a payment, and we can't offer much. But here, please take it. I insist. For expenses, if nothing else.
I know it'll be hard waiting for word, but try to carry on like normal. We'll be back as soon as we can.
Fine, Kasumi. Please.
Mission objective completed. New mission objective received.
Are you lost? This is Far Harbor. We don't get many visitors around here.
We don't need no freeloaders or more help, mainlander. So you can get back in your boat and leave.
Alan, this isn't your dock. It belongs to the whole town. And that means strangers are welcome. Sorry, you've caught us during a difficult time. But Alan's got a point. Not all visitors have good intentions. So, what's your business here?
실로지07님 어서오세요.
So,
What is this place?
well, in ancient times, this used to be a tourist town. My people have lived here and on the island for generations. But now everyone's crowded onto the docks, just trying to survive another day. We have more than our fair share of problems. You aren't here to add to them, are you?
A young woman from the Commonwealth named Kasumi may have passed through here. Her family hired me to find her.
Some sort of detective, huh? Well, she came through here all right.
Damn it. Mariners incoming.
Something's coming through the fog!
You, help us defend the town, and I'll answer any questions you have. Take a post at the top of the wall, near the main gate. The hull never lets us down. Now follow me! Careful on the hull, stranger. Don't fall off. If you do, we might not be able to rescue you in time.
Man the hull! Something's out there. This ain't a drill.
What the hell?
Eyes peeled, everyone.
Open the gate! I've got wounded out here!
There's no time. Look to the fog. They're coming.
Gulpers!
On! Defend yourself!
한우님 어서오세요.
All right, have it your way.
Some luck.
It's over.
No. Eyes on the fog. Something's coming.
Anglers!
Got company! This time.
We're clear.
All right. Well done, all. Open the gate.
The hull took the battery. To be sure. She wouldn't be standing at all if it weren't for you. They call me the Mariner. Shipwright. Handyman. The only one keeping the harbor afloat. Beside Captain Avery. Why doesn't anyone help you? Each harborman is the captain of his own ship. Worked fine for generations on the homesteads. Your land, your rules. But when the island pushed them onto my dock, one by one, the ungrateful bastards expect me to look after my land, even though they're squatting on it, like wretches.
레몬주스 드시비님 어서오세요.
If it's that bad, why put up with it? I couldn't very well toss them back into the fog, could I? Bad luck, that. Surely their spirits would haunt me to my grave. And that's a fact. Town's lucky you're here. You blowing smoke up my sails. Huh. What? There is... I don't suppose you'd be willing to lend a hand. In order to do proper repairs, I need tools. Specialized tools. And they won't be easy to come by. 450 caps if you can, though. You've kept the walls together this long. Why do you need special tools now? I want to build the hull up proper. Make it strong. And keep those blasted crabs out. Good. Sign me up. I'll help. Eagle's Cove Tannery. Tools are certain to be there. Get.
New mission objective received. Mission set as active. New mission objective received.
러버슬레이어 카티어라즈님 어서오세요.
Avery.
And now you see what we're up against. Fog and the creatures it spits out have taken the whole island from my people. For your help when we needed it. You deserve this.
What's the fog?
Where to begin? The fog's radioactive, right? But there are pockets of it, the deep fog, that are hard fallout. And as deadly as that is, that's only part of the problem. Things live in the fog, thrive. You think what attacked the harbor's bad? Oh, there's far worse further inland.
Lost the whole island?
Oh, the fog's been here forever. There are good years when it recedes and the island's almost normal. Then there are times when it spreads all over. People have to cling to any patch of land free of the fog. For the past, 8 years or so, it's been getting as bad as it's ever been. Now, Far Harbor's one of the only places left that's safe.
If you managed to survive despite all that, you must be tough.
Ornery, more like. I'm
done cowering behind your damn hull, Avery. Time you let me deal with the real problem. With the right people and my guns, I can end those Children of Adam cultists for good.
The fog's been here forever. The children didn't make it.
Before the Rat Eaters came, the fog was under control. They come, and it all goes wrong. It's time we do something.
No need to burden the stranger with all this nonsense.
What's the deal with the Children of Adam?
They're religious folk. Worship the power of Adam. Which is radiation, I guess. If you want details, you'd have to find and ask them. We used to have a peace with them until a certain hothead menace named Alan Lee...
Now that's enough. That preacher came into the harbor saying that it was Adam's will that we lost our land. It was Adam's goddamn will that we lost so many friends and family. And that the Atom would wipe this whole place clean of us.
If it were up to me, you'd hang for what you did to that preacher, Alan.
What did he do to the preacher?
Alan pulled a gun on him. He claims the preacher reached for his. We don't have police, or really any law, just custom and popular sentiment. And after everything the preacher said, it was abundantly clear doing anything to Alan would have made matters worse.
Have the children made the fog worse?
Absolutely not. There's not one bit of evidence.
Geiger counters don't lie, Avery. Fog's gotten more lethal year over year. And now the fog's covering the whole island. But only after the children came.
You know as well as I do that's happened before. Sure, people have theories that children are involved, but no one, and I mean no one, has proof.
Can we get back to business?
Sorry for all that. You're here for Kasumi, right? She headed inland to the Synth Refuge, Acadia. Getting there will be dangerous. You'll need a guide. Old Longfellow. No one knows the fog like him. But word of warning, he's a bit of an acquired taste.
님 어서 오세요.
What's old Longfellow's story?
He's the best hunter on the island. Fearless. Some say crazy. If someone needs to get to Acadia, he's the only one that'll do it. But people around here are known for being stubborn, willful, and other, less flattering things. But Longfellow's got a reputation even among us.
What can you tell me about Acadia?
Ask Longfellow. He's the only one that's been there.
Thanks for the info.
Best place to look for Longfellow's at the bar. The last plank. And, please, lend a hand around town if you're able. Even if it's slapped away. People like the Mariner and Cassie and others need help. And let me say something you might not hear again. Thank you.
You're that mainlander who just got here. Better watch yourself, because this island sees and hears everything. I should know. I watched the island tear down the greatest family that ever set foot in Far Harbor. It's a tale of greed, blood, and vengeance.
What family are you talking about?
I was just about to explain. My family, the Daltons, was the pride of Far Harbor for generations, even back before the war. It was lumber and fishing that made the Daltons rich. But they got greedy, took too much from the island. The island's been getting revenge ever since, killing us off one by one. I'm the last Dalton still standing. But now our story takes an unexpected turn. A mysterious stranger comes to Far Harbor. Someone strong, someone capable. With the stranger's help, the last living Dalton finally has a chance to avenge her bloodline once and for all.
Wait, are you saying that I'm the mysterious stranger who's going to help you avenge your family?
You're a quick one. Good. You'll need your wits about you, because your part in the story is filled with danger. Now, on to the first chapter in our tale of vengeance. That would be the sad story of freckle-faced Petey. Petey was my cousin. He was a good lad, never caused trouble. He thought all those freckles brought him luck, but, well, not so much. He was out foraging at the National Park campground when the island sicked some feral ghouls on him. Island's a sneaky bastard when it wants to be. Anyway, he made it back to town, but died from his injuries that night. Of course, those ferals are still out there, waiting to kill the next poor fool who comes along. Damn shame that.
Where'd you say these pools were?
National Park campground. It's pretty much straight west of here.
Those pools are as good as dead.
Good, good. It's long past time those shamblers paid for what they did to Petey.
New mission objective received. Mission set is active.
We're trying to have a conversation here.
Shut your mouths, open your damned ears. So the fogs are coming for us all. I can't see any better way of greeting it than to have another round. On the house.
Yeah!
Time to party.
Here's some Mitch.
Mainlander, today's your lucky day. Free beer for you. Ha ha!
You have anything a bit stronger?
Pushing your luck, are ya? Ha! I like it. Take this. Top shelf all around. So, drink up. You stay here over long and the fog will claim you. Might as well meet her with a belly full of fire, eh?
What's so special about the fog on the island?
Can you feel it? Even here, as safe as anyone can be on this damned island. It's alive. You walk inland and it'll blanket you up in no time. And if the clickety-click of the Geiger don't get you, the madness will. The island will claim us all in the end.
The fog can drive you crazy?
Yes. It's not natural. The trappers you find inland, some were always murderous louts. But many just got lost in the fog for too long. And the mind goes. If you have any sense, return where you came from. And don't look back.
If it's so dangerous, why do you stay?
This is our home. If you call yourself a proper man or woman, you don't give up on that. Besides, we all gotta die. Might as well do it with your long knife deep in the belly of the beast that wronged you. Ha!
I'd like to rent a room.
It's up the stairs.
블러들러스트르님 어서오세요.
Life's too bloody short to be sober.
Captain Avery said you can get me to Acadia?
Heard there was a scuffle out there. You get your hands dirty? I'm done leading people to their deaths in the farm. Last fella couldn't keep up. Last 5 minutes.
Can you tell me about Acadia?
Strange folk like there. Call themselves synths. Seems to me they just want to be left alone, to live their life in peace. They've done some good turns for us islanders. The fog condensers, most especially, wouldn't even be a Far Harbor left without those.
What's a fog condenser?
The condensers are a tricky bit of science. They keep the fog away. Powered by the wind farm, the synth fellows got up and running. Us islanders don't particularly like being obligated to them. But there you have it.
Some parents are worried about their runaway daughter. She went to Acadia, and I need to find her.
If someone's headed for Acadia, there's always a story. Yours worth dying over, huh?
Trust me, I've done a whole lot more for a whole lot less.
Clever with words, are you? I could get you to Acadia. But you've got to listen to me. Go where I say, when I say it. Still won't be easy. You stock up on your necessities, Rad, X, and the like. And then the real work can begin.
커뮤니티 쇼케이스님 어서 오세요.
Should I make any other preparations?
Ammo, stim packs, maybe a rocket or three. Worse than Myra lurks out there.
Let's go, Longfellow.
Follow me, then.
Burns the belly, but gets the job done. Get it now.
Let's head out of town. Acadia is above the fog line of the mountain. It's a bit of a hike. You might want to take this for the road. It's foul and simple, but it'll help.
You need it? The bait shop's got it.
Protect your loved ones with my fine hand cannons.
Old mountain bridge. Fog ain't like nothing.
If we keep standing in this radiation, we're going to get sick.
Christmas tree. Let's go.
Tracks. Fresh ones. Trappers ahead. When the bullets start flying, find cover. Keep your head down if you want to.
Found them, man.
Trying to have fun.
Figured I'd have to take care of the body. Not just make the proper far harder. See, the fog will be a number. Get you all turned. Rappers will be
We may have an enemy nearby.
There's the mountain trail. Stick to this and we'll make it to Acadia.
now, are you?
We made that look easy. this,
We
right?
grow everything extra. Still got a ways to go. They usually stick to the deep fog. Thus we steer clear. But you never know. When I was a young lad, no higher than your knee, whole island was covered in fog. The fog eventually rolled back. People resettled, but they got comfortable. Started taking things for granted. Folk got short memories. All this has happened before.
Butt pumping.
My apologies. I think I've lost them.
New
캔버이
location
식사님
discovered.
어서 오세요.
We're doing cartwheels too.
You? That's a different story. Let's get this done.
If they left anything useful for us.
Gulper's got a fondness for fresh water. Now the big ones, they can grow 2-3 times the size of a man. Good thing you don't see too many of them.
메마이셀 스너지님 신판상원님 어서오세요.
Stringing one more soul to their damnation, old man?
Well, what have we here? Another rat worshipping lunatic. That's what.
Your barbs do not harm me. I am shielded by my faith.
How about bullets? Faith shield you against those too?
Who's she?
One of them children of Adam preachers. Started off as pests. Now they're more like a menace.
Do not sully this one with your blasphemy, old man. You. I suggest you go no further. Acadia is a nest of snakes. Beasts that subvert the will of Adam.
What's Acadia done to make you distrust them?
They supply Far Harbor with the means to turn back Adam's holy fog. You'd do well to avoid such creatures, and instead seek the only true master of this land.
Yeah, whatever you say.
Watch yourself, outsider. You walk through Adam's kingdom now.
If you're done wasting time with a fanatic, let's move. Here's clean. No fog. Acadia's not too far now.
New location discovered.
And we've arrived. Acadia's already been watching us for a good spell. If you want to talk with them, just go inside. They'll be waiting for you. If you need my help again, you come see me. Got a cabin just outside of Far Harbor. Good place to tool up your gear, get some rest, or stinking drunk. Just make sure if you're bringing a bottle of something strong, there's enough to share.
Leaving already? Don't you want to see what happens next?
You saying you want me to stick around and watch your back?
Maybe later, Longfellow.
All right. But I'm serious about the offer. You ever want to hunt the forests and waters of the island together? I could think of worse things to do.
New mission objective received. Mission objective completed.
실로지07 침판벗 이버레시보님 어서오세요.
You know, when I first climbed this mountain above the fog, I thought to myself, now here is a metaphor worth taking in. You've entered a place of clarity, understanding, peace. While you're here in Acadia, Synthkind welcomes you as long as you welcome us.
What are you?
I told you. I'm the old synth on the mountain. I know the plastic skin and tubes out the back can be unsettling, but I want to ask you to look past that. Tell me why you're here, and I'll try to help you.
I came here looking for Kasumi Nakano.
Really? I'm impressed. Few would brave the kind of journey you've had for the sake of someone else. Kasumi is here. She's safe and unharmed, and you're free to see her if you'd like. Before you do, though, tell me, do you think Kasumi is a synth?
We're not answering any more questions until you play straight with us. Just who the hell are you, really? There's only one synth with that kind of face and a mind of his own. And I only see him when I look in a mirror.
Nick? It can't be you.
Don't give me that. What are you trying to pull? I've never seen you before in my life.
Please, if you're willing to give me a chance, I can explain.
Is this a joke? Do you really know, Nick?
Let me tell you what I know, and you can judge for yourself. We were prototypes, Nick. The first synths capable of independent thinking and judgment.
Keep talking.
One of the Institute's experiments had to do with how our brains could process personality. If we could handle individualized feelings and behaviors, I was allowed to develop mine based on experience. But with you, they wanted to try transferring an entire personality into you. It took several attempts before the personality imprint worked. I saw you wake up not knowing who or what you were so many times. I couldn't let them do it to you anymore. We were the only two prototypes they made. I literally saw myself in you. You were my brother, Nick. I helped you escape the Institute. We left together.
If I were your brother, I'd remember.
That's where you'd be wrong. This happened over a century ago. There's only so much memory that can fit into the prototype brains we have.
I've heard enough. I think you and I need to talk about this. Maybe not now, though.
Is it really possible that you wouldn't remember any of this?
You mean between the Institute failsafes, the beatings I've taken over the years, and plain old age? Or are you buying this whole "there's only so much room" of their argument? I don't know. It's not like we've got the instruction manual.
We'll talk later. This is a lot to take in.
Nick, I don't need you to believe me. I'm just glad to see you again. Whenever you're ready, I'll be here. Now, about young
제이조울란공이님 어서 오세요.
It's important that you understand exactly why she's here. I asked you before if you think she's really a synth. If you could indulge me with an answer.
Why are you asking?
Because she came here with that very question. And the answer changes every part of her world. None of us take this transition lightly. She's facing the possibility of her entire life being a lie. That someone stripped her very identity from her and made her into something she isn't. I want you to understand that before you see her. She has a chance here to live as a synth, not hiding, not pretending to be something else. One more question, if you'll indulge me. You're here for Kasumi, but I suspect there could be another reason you came to us. Tell me, are you a synth?
I'm a human being, not a synth.
Are you sure? I don't mean to question you, but what's the first memory you have?
I'm not gonna tell my life story to someone I barely know. Let's hear your answer first.
I was in a laboratory. In the Institute. They were pulling pieces of my head out. Something about wanting to test some neural process. That was every day for months. Strapped down. Operated on. And then I was out. The Institute has fail-safes to strip memories that could identify where they are, how to find them. But I do remember being quite...
블러들러스트르님 어서오세요.
I was free. That is my earliest memory. Now, yours.
You're treading on very personal territory. Back off.
Okay. You're not ready to have this conversation. Whatever you believe, we will accept you for who you are. Synth or human.
Dude, spare me the lecture.
Fine. But Acadia is still open to you. Feel free to walk the grounds. Introduce yourself to my co-founders, Faraday and Chase. Kasumi is usually working down below, whenever you wish to see her. Did you need anything else before you go?
Who are you? What's your story?
I came to this island over a century ago, hiding from my creators, the Institute. But after my escape felt secured, I was left with nothing. No programmed task. No false memories. I spent a year just sitting in a cave. Just sitting. One day, it finally occurred that maybe I could decide for myself what to do, who I was. I've been doing that ever since. Was there anything else?
Tell me more about this place, Acadia.
All I want is to bring as many synths here as I can, and give them a chance to know what they really are. To embrace it. Beyond that, we just want to live in peace. I don't have any grand plans for expansion. Just existing as we are
세캔디
now
나이트메어님
is
어서오세요.
enough. Was there anything else?
I'm part of a group that helps synths. A railroad.
Really? I don't understand why a group dedicated to helping synths would convince them through fear that their only option is to hide. Yes, they volunteer for the memory wipe. Yes, not knowing you're a synth makes it harder for the Institute to find you. But the cost, I know how frightening it is. The risk of capture. But sacrificing what you are, avoiding the true struggle to be accepted as our own form of life?
Are you saying you don't want the railroad's help?
It's not about that. It's about how you've let fear blind your cause.
I didn't come to argue. I just wanted you to know we're out there, helping your people.
I know. I'm sorry. It's easy for me to worry about our ideals while I'm so far away from the Commonwealth, in relative safety. Can I help you with anything else?
So, everyone here in Acadia is a synth?
Yes. Either they were escapees we managed to find before the Institute could, or they were victims of a mind wipe, and we revealed the truth to them. Are you?
토터터님 어서오세요.
Of course.
Perhaps
Perhaps we're in there a long time. Are you feeling all right?
I'm fine. You worry too much.
Sometimes I feel like you don't.
Mission set as objective received.
You know we blew 3 more relays this week. I'm coming in. You stay right there.
Hi. You tracked Kasumi here. I'm impressed. Perhaps not as quietly or efficiently as possible. Thankfully, she was never in any real danger. I'm afraid your journey was unnecessary.
I wanted to see for myself that she's safe.
You have my word. Acadia is a safe haven for synths. Were it not, I would not have aided anyone in reaching it. Every synth I've tracked down, every synth convinced to come here, has been assured that he or she will come to no harm. My job is to make sure they all remain safe, no matter what. Understand?
How do you manage to
유니버스
track down
호스터스님
synths
어서
and bring them
오세요.
here?
I have a network of contacts throughout the area. Some from my time with the Institute, some after. I know the Institute's tactics, and use that to my advantage. You have Dima's blessing, so by all means, make yourself comfortable.
So, what's your story?
I used to be a courser, returning synths that had escaped from the Institute. I was tracking a synth and instead found Dima. He convinced me of the truth, and the error of my ways. I rejected the Institute, made sure they couldn't track me, and dedicated my life to instead helping synths find freedom.
Tell me about Acadia.
Dima's told you most of what you need to know. It's as safe as we can make it for now. With every new synth we rescue, we're better able to defend ourselves.
I'd like to help you all. Is there anything I can do?
Actually, as a matter of fact, there is. If you're serious about contributing, well, we've got a situation I need someone to look into. You've had some experience traveling around the island, so you may be decently equipped to handle it.
What's the problem?
We were expecting a new synth to arrive, and he should have been here by now. There's been no sign of him, and I'm concerned that he might have become lost on the way here.
You have any leads on where he might be?
You should start by talking to Brooks in Far Harbor. He's one of us, a synth. He's the one who meets the new arrivals and gets them started on the journey here. Of course, he's not likely to tell you anything without proof that you're working for me. If he doesn't cooperate, tell him that his designation is L792. That should convince him. That's as much help as I can give you for now. Please, hurry. If that synth is out there alone, he won't last long.
New mission objective received. Mission set as active.
So, you've talked to Dima. You know why we're here. I certainly hope that you'll consider helping us. Dima's vision is worth fighting for.
So you're a synth?
I am. I hope that's not a problem for you. Dima has worked hard to create a place for us where we can be safe from those who don't accept us. He's put so much of himself into this, all his time and energy devoted to helping others. He never stops to think of himself. Sometimes I worry about, well, if I wasn't here to make sure his equipment is all functional. And that's not even mentioning maintaining the fog condensers. So many things to keep track of.
You do all this work yourself?
Mostly, yes. I get help from the others when I can.
MP보이보이님 어서
But no one
오세요.
else really understands Dima the way I do.
Can you tell me about the fog condensers?
Oh, those? Dima and I designed them when it became clear the fog was only getting worse. They're effective, but have such a limited range. Dima insisted we provide them to the people of Far Harbor, and I'm so glad we did. Without the condensers, I'm not sure they'd have anywhere left.
Dima looks like he's had a lot of work done.
Well, that's certainly an understatement. Between the two of us, we've made so many modifications. He was just a prototype, Never built for all this. It took a lot to overcome the limitations of the original design and expand his memory. It really is remarkable, isn't it? He's overcome so much. He's become so much more than he once was. And all he thinks of is others.
If there's anything I can do to help out, just let me know.
Well, if you're determined to help, there is something you could do. It's likely somewhat dangerous, though, so I understand if you'd rather not. There's a boat along the coast of the island. It was transporting some hardware we needed. Storage drives. The boat never finished the trip, you see. So the drives are still out there. I could really use them here for extra parts, if nothing else. My understanding is that the boat wrecked southwest of here. So, does this sound like something you could handle?
What happened to the boat? Why didn't it make it?
I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. Trappers, fog crawlers, there's no end to what's out there. And what might still be out there. The point is that we already lost someone once. And I don't want to see that happen again. So, are you up for it?
Sure thing, Faraday. I'll get the drives for you.
Thank you. I really do appreciate it.
New mission objective received. Mission set as active.
Sorry, I'm right in the middle of something.
Your parents sent me. They want you to come home.
They did what? You came all this way for me. Look, my mom and dad, I mean, those people that were taking care of me, they wouldn't want me back. Not if they knew the truth.
알릉님 어서 오세요.
What do you mean?
I'm not their daughter. I'm a synth. I thought if I just left, it would be easier for them. How would that conversation have gone anyway? I've been lying to you this whole time? Your real daughter is dead and I replaced her?
Kasumi, I think you're just confused. Everyone has doubts about who they are sometimes. It's part of life.
I really wish that was true. If I wasn't a synth, things would be so much simpler. Acadia isn't what I thought it was. There's more going on here than just the refuge. But I can't leave until I've gotten to the bottom of it. I've been running long enough.
What kind of problem is there in Acadia?
It's a long story. I just have to figure out how to... Wait, you find things. Track down answers. That's what you do, right? That's why you came after me. What if I told you that there's a secret? A big secret here, on this island. Something way more important than just one lost girl.
What are you talking about?
Where to begin? You saw all those computers that Dima's hooked up to, right? They hold his memories, or offload data from his brain. Or maybe some combination of both? Well, Faraday asked me to help do some repairs on them. And, you know, I got curious. There's like a century's worth of life experiences in there. And that's when I see it. Data models Dima has been making. One was the fog taking over Far Harbor. Another was a nuclear detonation on the island. Plus, death counts. What if Dima is so open and welcoming because he's actually hiding something from us? A plan to wipe out the rest of the island.
You don't trust Dima?
승판상원님 어서 오세요.
I didn't come to Acadia for him. I came here because this place offered answers. And now that I found a place I belong, I'd rather not lose it all if Dima is secretly planning to destroy everything.
I'll help if I can, but that's not much to go on.
I know. I've been working on that, but I haven't had much luck. I keep seeing Dima, Faraday, and Chase head into the laboratory at the other end of the hall. Then they come out later looking like they've been arguing. There's actually a storage space right next to there. It'd be a perfect spot to hide and eavesdrop, but it's been locked up. I've also tried breaking into Faraday's terminal, since he and Dima are so close, but the security on it is crazy.
This'll be easier if I just talk to Dima. Convince him that he needs to be honest with us.
All right. Good luck. Let me know what you find out.
I assume you're not planning on staying long.
Dima?
Yes. What is it?
Kasumi says she's seen parts of your memories. Death projections. For Far Harbor and the center of the island.
That's unfortunate. She should be focusing on herself, her new life. She shouldn't have to bear the burden of the outside world. Please, this is a matter best left to me and my advisors. We aren't planning to destroy the island. Those projections were merely to help us realize the cost of inaction.
I'm getting sick of this whole noble leader bullshit from you, Dima. Now stop hiding and tell me the truth.
All right, you've made your point. There's a conflict that's been brewing on this island, shortly after we built Acadia. Between Far Harbor and the Children of Atom.
Simply put, they want to kill each other, and each side wants us to help them.
We've tried to stay neutral, but Far Harbor was going to be wiped out by the fog, so that's when we built the condensers for them.
And I was friends with the previous leader of the Children of Atom, Confessor Martin. I even gave them their headquarters, the submarine base they named the Nucleus.
Which was a mistake, because Martin is gone and the new Confessor, Tectus, is completely insane.
He's been threatening us, to force us to choose a side. I left behind something very important in that submarine base I gave them.
Dima's earliest memories are stored in the military computer banks in that base. The pre-war security systems and Confessor Martin's goodwill were supposed to keep them safe.
But now Tectus is in charge, and he's after Dima's memories. We don't even know what's in them.
But we do know that I spent nearly a century on this island alone. Whatever's in there is too dangerous to allow Tectus to get his hands on.
You left your memories behind? How does that work?
As a prototype synth, my raw data capacity is limited. I began using computer banks to expand, to give me room to ponder, see new things. I had to leave some of my earliest memories behind when I left the sub-base to the Children of Atom. I thought they were safe.
You're keeping Far Harbor safe, is that it?
Not exactly. They're fiercely independent. But the fog was starting to choke more and more of the island. So I proposed a trade. We would give them the technology to keep the fog at bay, in return for them being a lifeline to the outside world. A safe dock, and a place to buy supplies. Unfortunately, the children of Adam view the radioactive fog as a holy portent, and their bloodied history with Far Harbor puts us at odds.
The children of Adam on this island. You were helping them?
Yes. I know their faith in radiation as a type of god is a bit different. But who am I to judge? I was using a submarine base as a home when Martin and his followers stumbled inside. They had been cast out of Far Harbor for their beliefs. When I left to found Acadia, I knew the base would be in safe hands. They needed a home, a place to belong, just like I did. But now Martin is gone, and his successor, Tectus, wants to finally end the feud with Far Harbor by letting the fog swallow them.
I see. So what can I do to help?
If you're willing to retrieve what I've lost, and bring my memories back to me, then we'd all be one step closer to solving this conflict without bloodshed.
You'll have to get through the Children of Adam's base. You're new on the island, so you might be able to pose as a recruit.
Then, once you get to the memory banks, you'll have to use a special program Dima and I have been working on to break through the security systems.
It's not going to be like a normal hack. You'll be breaking through a version of my own mental network. It'll consider you to be an intruder. I've loaded the program with some instructions I've recorded that will help guide you through it. I'm afraid it's difficult to explain without seeing it for yourself.
So how does this program work?
There will be a fairly ordinary-looking terminal with some attachments. The program will give you access to the terminal. Once you attempt to obtain a memory, your perspective might shift a little. Just relax then. The program will explain things to you as you need them.
I'll get your memories, Dima.
If we're lucky, the pre-war defenses have kept the children of Adam at bay. But that means you'll have to get past them yourself. One more thing before you leave. Whatever you do, don't assault the children of Adam directly. Our ultimate goal must be to bring peace. If you attack them, they'll consider themselves at war with the outside world.
찬우님 어서 오세요.
Turns out Dima's earliest memories are in the hands of the children of Adam. He's afraid of what they're going to find.
So, is that what those death projections were about? It wasn't Dima planning to destroy the island. He's worried the children of Adam were. Or is he still hiding something? What could be in those memories that he would leave them behind? Is there really something in them that's dangerous? Do you have a way in? Into his memories? Assuming you can get past the children of Adam, of course.
About the children of Adam, what do you know about them?
Well, I heard about them a little bit back in the Commonwealth. Radiation worship, something like that. I wasn't in Far Harbor long, but there's a lot of hatred for them there. I overheard someone talking about killing a child of Adam missionary. I can see why Dima would be worried. We just need to make sure we know he's not up to something else.
I got this program that Faraday and Dima wrote. It's supposed to help me access the memory banks.
Really? How would that work? When I was taking a peek in the computers he has here, Dima was hooked up to his chair. I was just tapping into it. I wonder if you'll need to, you know, connect to the old banks the way he does? Some kind of connection between your head and the computer. Oh, but that's it. And then Faraday's program would be translating Dima's thoughts and data, helping you through any security guarding it. I'm sorry, I'm making assumptions. It's just, well, it's a little exciting, isn't it? You'll let me know what you find? I'll keep an eye on things here.
So, say I get the memories.
오세아니토 밑줄
What then?
파티어라즈님
Something
어서
that would
오세요.
really threaten the island, then it's better out of the hands of the children of Adam. Or Far Harbor even. And if Dima really can't be trusted, we'll have his own memories to confront him with.
I'll get Dima's memories, and then we'll figure out things from there.
Good luck.
Mission objective completed. Mission set is active.
Anytime you want me to carry some of that valuable gear you're lugging?
Too many folks
New
these
mission
days
objective
count on
received.
violence to solve their problems. You only have to look around to see where that got us.
Hi.
So, you impressed yet? Told you I was a damn good shot.
Is there a reason that you're bringing this up?
I'm not trying to gouge you for extra caps if that's what you're thinking. I just thought you deserved to know a little more about me. I'm completely self-taught, you know. Picked up a sniper rifle when I was 10 and never looked back. Always thought it was smarter to hit my targets at long range. I mean, why take chances, right? Besides, I had to come up with every trick in the book to survive the capital wasteland.
What were you doing in the capital wasteland?
I was born there. Lived underground in a place called Little Lamplight with a bunch of other kids. Left there when I was around 16. Kind of had a policy there. No adults. When you were 16, you packed up and left. I know, it sounds crazy, but having adults around was something we couldn't trust.
How could a bunch of kids survive without help?
Everyone pulled their own weight. Just like a colony you'd find anywhere. We all had our designated jobs and we watched each other's backs. Can you believe I was actually the mayor for a while? Me. Crazy, I know.
Pretty brave. Bunch of kids living alone like that?
I don't know.
MDL카님
Looking
어서
back on the whole
오세요.
thing, I think we were just lucky. Anyway, when I hit 16, I ended up wandering the capital wasteland for a while. Took the odd job here and there, but things were pretty hot with the Brotherhood of Steel running the show. So I hitched a ride with a caravan and made my way north until I ended up here. Made a pretty decent name for myself before I heard that the gunners needed some sharpshooters. Biggest mistake of my life. They were animals. Killed anything that moved if it got in their way. I went with it for a while because the caps were good, but I don't know. I guess it started to catch up with me. So I quit, which pretty much brings us to now. So there you have it. My whole life in a nutshell.
Thanks for sharing that with me.
Well, you've earned it. Look, I know I tend to be a pain in the ass. I know I tend to be arrogant and I come off like I want to be alone. Nothing could be further from the truth. Being alone scares the heck out of me. Now that we've been traveling together for a while, I'm beginning to realize how much I missed having someone I could depend on. I just wanted you to know that I'm going to do everything I can to see that it stays this way. Well, that's all I had to say. Hope you got something out of all that. I know I did. Hey, I never got a chance to properly thank you for helping me take out Winlock and Barnes. Hey, I never got a chance to properly thank you for helping me take out Winlock and Barnes.
So we're done with the Gunners.
Definitely. With those two clowns taking a dirt nap, I'm pretty sure the Gunners heard my message loud and clear. Couldn't have done it without your help. You stuck your neck out for me. I don't forget I mean, things like that.
Cursing doesn't offend me, you know.
I didn't think it did. It's not about you, it's about a promise I made. When I left the capital wasteland, I didn't just leave little Lamplight behind. I left my family behind. Had a beautiful wife named Lucy, and a son we named Duncan. He's the one I made my promise to. I promised to clean up my act and to be a better person. I guess that sounds pretty stupid coming from a guy who shoots people for a living.
You must have had a good reason to leave them behind.
That's what I keep telling myself. My son, he's sick. I don't know what's wrong with him. One day he's playing out in the fields behind our farm. The next he took a fever and these blue boils popped up all over his body. Last I saw, he was almost too weak to walk. I didn't dare ask him to come with me. Honestly, I don't know how much longer he's going to last.
Are you asking me for help again?
I suppose that I am. You've already done so much for me. I feel horrible asking for more. But if you're willing to risk it, I might have a way we can save him.
How risky are we talking?
I'm not going to lie to you. It's no walk in the park. If it was easy, I would have already done it myself. Look, I really need your help on this one. Duncan needs you too.
Of course I'll help. Count me in.
I was hoping you'd say that. A few months before we met, I bumped into a guy named Sinclair who claimed his buddy caught some kind of disease. I thought he was wasting my time until he said his partner broke out in blue boils. They dug up information about a cure at a place called MedTech Research. They even managed to grab the building's lockdown security codes. Unfortunately, Sinclair's buddy died before they were able to break into the facility. I mean, there's no way that's a coincidence, right? MedTech has to be the place.
Don't give up hope. If there's a cure, we'll find it.
Thanks, partner. I'll put MedTech Research on your map. When you're ready, just take us out there. I have all the codes we need to get through their security. What you're doing, no one's ever cared that much about me before, even if it takes me the rest of my life. I'll repay this debt to you. I swear it.
하티어라즈님 어서 오세요.
should get the hell out of here.
New location discovered.
Handy round a workbench, I guess. We heading out?
Most folks are just looking for a hand.
Not yet. Just stay put for now.
Right.
Only thing better than getting pissed is picking a fight. Am I right?
My databanks are continuing to accumulate vast amounts of data regarding the Commonwealth.
I've been told the Valentine Detective Agency is mine.
care of me. It means before we get out of here.
유베니스님 어서 오세요.
I'm sorry, but I don't
General
have time.
supplies? Or the debate shop?
Front, down your back. Bait shop. Those feral ghouls come at you quick. Poor Petey learned that the hard way.
I wiped out the feral ghouls at the campground.
The hero of our saga returns triumphant. I bet the island didn't see that coming. It's only right you get paid for your troubles. Here's 200 caps for you.
So, who else needs to be avenged?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I've been thinking about what's next, and then it came to me. We all love our grandparents, don't we? Kind, gentle, doting, love to spoil you. You'd never want something awful to happen to them. Nobody would. That's why it broke my heart when I lost Grandpa George.
What happened to him?
He had a farm, little ways north of here. Lived a peaceful life, working the land and not causing anyone trouble. The island sent something after him. A huge monster. Mean as spit, and with claws to snap steel beams. A fog crawler. Grandpa bravely stood his ground. A shotgun in his hands, holding off that terror while the farmhands fled back here. If you can take out that shell-backed devil, it'll send a message loud and clear that says the Daltons never forget when they've been wronged.
Where can I find this farm?
Follow the coastline to the north.
That fog crawler's gonna pay. For Grandpa George.
That's the spirit.
Coordinates like that? Wonder you wiped out those crabs.
Mainlanders don't last long on the island.
Guns, ammo, and souvenirs. You're well in stock.
Ah, you there. Are you that detective I've heard about?
I'll be straight with you. It's never easy to ask anyone on this island for help, much less a stranger. But I've got a responsibility to these people, and I have a job for you if you're up for it. Besides, I know you're tougher than you look.
What exactly do you need help with?
We get our drinking water from a purifier not far outside of town. We had a bad storm not long before you got here, and it must have damaged the fog condensers that protect the road to the purifier. I sent Howard Dunbar out to fix them. He was out there when the Mirelurks hit us. I'm afraid they might have got him, too. I was hoping you might go have a look. If the worst happened, maybe you could get those fog condensers back online. If you're up to it, just head south out of town. It's paying work, of course. I wouldn't ask a stranger to stick their neck out on our behalf, unless I was willing to pay a fair share for it.
All right, I'll head out there now.
Good. Our water supply won't last much longer.
New mission objective received. Mission set as active.
Another day in Far Harbor.
I need to talk to you about a missing synth.
Yeah? Well, it's not something I talk about with outsiders. So you can either buy something or move along.
If that synth got lost somewhere on the island, he could be in real trouble. Don't you care about that?
Look, friend, no offense. What I care about is my business.
I'm working with Chase. She told me that your designation is L792.
Okay, I believe you. Keep it down, all right? It's real private information. I know the synth you're talking about. He's a younger guy. Maybe early 20s with white hair. Goes by the name Derek. Thing is, he showed up way earlier than he was supposed to. Thought a courser was on his tail, so he rushed the timetable. To be honest, the guy was a wreck. He was scared shitless. looking over his shoulder every 5 minutes and attracting unwanted attention. Tried to calm him down, but he panicked and ran off into the fog. That was the last I saw of him.
Can you tell me anything else? I'm gonna need more information than that if I'm gonna find the synth.
I wish I had more to give you. He disappeared into the fog, and I haven't seen him since.
Relax. I'll take care of this.
Sorry. My nerves are a little shot right now. Look, if you're really going after that synth, I'm pretty sure he took the road south out of town. Or you could head that way. Just be careful out there. And thanks. There aren't many who go out in the fog to help a synth, especially one they don't even know. I feel like shit about what happened. I really do. I hope you can make it right. Hey, chaps, got everything you need.
Talk with Al. I don't have time for it.
K3JRU 디뉴님 어서오세요. 힙스님 어서오세요. COMRADEFAC님 어서오세요.
Research. I hope Sinclair's information pays off. Let's head inside and grab that cure. Let's find that executive terminal. Sinclair said that's the only way we can override the facility's lockdown.
I remember when people sat in places like this all day and just stared at their computers.
No one's been in here for ages. Instinct is a powerful tool in our business. Rely on it. Train it up. It'll save your life. I promise.
K3JRU 유니버스 프리타임 64님 어서오세요.
Shoot to kill.
Did you hear that?
유지인 89님 어서 오세요.
When I retire, I am totally gonna set up a maid service. Talk about
Gotta do.
Have some trouble. Very simple.
Ugh. Oh, I hope this stuff is dust.
Check the terminal on the desk over there. Sinclair's passcode better work, or we're screwed. Thank God that worked. Let's find a way to... down to the sublevel. That's where MedTech should be storing the cure.
카티어라직 마이클탄 밑줄 62, 컵 밑줄 K191967님 어서 오세요.
I heard something.
I wonder if there's a button that can get us the heck out of here. Jumping at the goddamn shadows next.
I hope you aren't expecting me to sort through this clutter.
골드 밑줄 나즈골님 어서오세요.
Not so tough now, are you? Heads up.
Smells horrible. I think we're the first ones down here in a long time. The sooner we find that cure, the sooner we can get the heck out of here.
much as you want. I don't refuse.
다카라101 SZB 핑크고잉님 어서오세요.
How much of this do you think still works?
Okay, who's
Feeling eyes on my back. That's how we do things around here.
I think we're the first people to set foot here in quite a while.
Safety's off.
looks like the last time I got a checkup in here.
비뉴님 어서 오세요.
Yes.
Here you go, McCready.
Holy crap, we actually did it! We just gave Duncan a fighting chance to live. I don't know how I'll ever be able to pay you back for this. I owe you big time.
All I care about is curing your son.
I know you do. I'm just getting tired of taking instead of giving. Maybe one day I'll learn to get my priorities straight. Anyway, the last step ahead of us is getting the cure to Daisy and Goodneighbor. With her caravan contacts, she's the only one I trust to get this to Duncan on time. This is the last favor I'm going to ask. I promise. Let's go.
The chem's effects are expired.
Crops coming in pretty good.
Sucking down a lot of rats sticking around here.
You, that's a different story.
에오슈나프님 어서 오세요. 마데이마이18님 어서오세요.
Hancock turns a blind eye to our activities. Makes Good Neighbor a great place to lay low.
Go away, bleeder!
Hey there.
McGrady, I haven't seen you in a while. You haven't been avoiding me, have you?
No, how could I stay away from someone as cute as you, Daisy?
You're a lousy liar, but I'll just play stupid and pretend I don't know that. So, what do you need?
I got it, Daisy. I found the cure to Duncan's disease.
Oh my god, that's wonderful news. How'd you do it? Last time you tried, the Pharaohs almost chewed you to bits.
I didn't do it alone. A friend here got me through medtech. Now, all I need to do is to get the cure into Duncan's hands. Can you help me?
Of course, McCready. You've saved my behind more than once. It's the least I can do. It's okay. You can trust me. I swear I'll get the cure to Duncan.
Circling back around, what did McCready do to help you out?
Running a business in a town like Good Neighbor is a challenge. Let's just say I've had my share of unfriendly customers, and McCready's been there to help me handle the situation.
If McCready trusts you, then that's good enough for me.
I appreciate that. He's actually not so bad. Once you get to know him. I'll get the sample on the first caravan leaving the Commonwealth.
페트레노비신카 아나더튜브 뷰어님 어서오세요.
And he's reliable. It will arrive at your homestead in no time, McCready.
Thanks. You're a doll.
Hey, do me a favor. Take care of McCready for me. He's one of the good ones.
Mission objective completed.
Oh, new face walks into my store. And you're not even screaming yet. Very polite. You let me know if anything catches your fancy.
Did you say something about people screaming at you?
That's right. Some newcomers have never seen a ghoul before. Can't handle a friendly face, I say. So you need some supplies?
What's it like, you know, being a ghoul?
Well, it's a lot worse when people always ask you about it all the time. But I guess I can't blame them. On the upside, I look pretty good. For being over 220 years old. Now, were you buying anything?
Wait, you're 220 years old.
Okay. It's more like 270 years. But don't go blabbing that to everyone. Being a ghoul means you live a long time. You stop counting birthdays. Do you know what it's like being that old?
What's it like?
It's like being in a time warp sometimes. Hundreds of years between you and the 20-somethings running around here. Not that you'd know what that's like, would you?
Actually, I do.
Well, now you're just making fun of me. If you were as old as I was, you would have been around since before the war. So let's hear it. Come on. Tell me what the world was like before the war, if you're so ancient.
I had a beautiful house. White picket fence, and a lawn with the greenest grass you've ever seen. It was peaceful.
It was, wasn't it? Sorry. Last thing you want to see is an old lady tearing up. Well, you're either the most well-preserved ghoul I've ever seen, or you're the second best bullshitter and good neighbor. Ah!
So, what do you remember about the past?
Oh, sweetie. I was an angry young woman back then. Thought the world was sick and wouldn't give me my due. Then it all ended, and well, I ended in a way, becoming a ghoul. Maybe when you get to be my age, everything starts to look like fate. Anyway, I like your story better, whether or not it's true.
Well, that's just the way I remember it.
You know, if you haven't already, you should check out the Hotel Rexford. There's another pre-war ghoul hanging around there. Well, we should get back to business. What are you picking up?
Not right now.
Okay.
Hey.
티커님 어서 오세요.
Hey there.
Hope this helps.
Hey, you say that...
The word.
볼러로 꾸무 이사님 어서 오세요.
Wow. Have to look at that. Impressed.